Okay, test, 1, 2. Welcome back to the live stream here, guys. It's always a difficult time trying to get my voice ready for this because whenever I do the live streams, I always have to remind myself that my voice is actually, my voice pitch is actually 2 octaves above what I'm hearing. And another thing that I have to keep in mind, keep reminding myself is, in addition to all that nonsense, somehow I got to remind myself that that's not using the mic. So I'm not able to use my quadcast mic as of yet, as long as I continue to stream using this phone, which is sad because we have a great mic and we're not capitalizing on it. So that's sad. Now, what we're doing now today is a little bit of an upgrade in terms of our work ethic and what we do on stream. What we're finally capable of doing now is we're getting to the groove. We're really coming back from, say, the library or going outside and job hunting or volunteering or whatever, or just getting groceries, camping out, doing exercise. And we come back and we're ready to start a live stream almost, not immediately, but within the first, hour to hour and a half. We want to cut that down as much as we can to maybe just about 15 to 20 minutes tops. I know that's ambitious because you got undressed, you might have to take a shower, but even take a shower, it's like we want to get back home or back to residence. We come back to res and we start the stream as soon as possible, and have everything ready. So this is very, very much well on its way. I'm very happy to say that we're getting there. And what we've done here, the moment we got back after undressing and using the washroom and eating a little bit, is we added a lot of the material on the left-hand side panel, the Excel document as usual. But I should mention that it's not really. First of all, there's some issue there because it's actually covering the task for the previous 3 days ago, not actually today. But the second thing is, all that stuff that I'm putting on the left-hand side panel for Excel, that should have been done outside. I should have done that at the library. And then when I come back, I start the stream, I should have this ready. So that's what I would like to work towards over time. Now, things don't always fall according to plan, so I know that that's not going to be the case exactly, but we want to move towards that direction. What we're going to do now, take a breath, maybe get some water here. What we're going to do now is start live streaming what we're going to do for work today in terms of the project. And what we have to do today is, on the laptop, we have to actually finally get all the live stream materials, all the live streams highlighted, create all the highlights, download certain portions, snippets. We're going to try testing editing. We're going to test our editing skills, our pretty poor editing skills, and download what we can. We're going to try uploading things onto Patreon, onto Ko-fi. We're going to try using other platforms like online tools that are freely accessible to chop up videos into, short 15-second, 18-second snippets, add some text, put it onto TikTok. We're going to try stuff like that. And we can't do all of that, obviously, in this one session, but we're going to do our best. Before we do that, there's some stuff we want to try. We want to just cover on in terms of a review for today's material, and it's actually on screen right now. So I'm gonna sit down for a moment, and with the camera pulled down, maybe here, I'm just gonna try to recite everything that I can see. So it seems that from the previous day we talked about, that was the first day we had of this particular title having to do with the 365 days series, um, trying to patch up our life. In that series, we started with religion, Christian Old New Testament, right? So the Bible being lost at the workplace. Us being reminded of that because of a colleague, because of my friend who is inviting me to church, and then me getting back in touch with him, asking why he's being so insistent, and then him answering that yes, indeed, it's because the pastor is asking when I'll show up, and I'm wondering how did the pastor get to know me in this way? I've never mentioned any pastor, but I guess it's just connections, and my buddy mentioned me. Then we have the landlord getting offended and angry and throwing temper tantrum like a child, coping with comedy and amusing, and I found it hilarious. Coping by really just laughing it all off, because it's really not any of my business how angry or upset she feels. I can just laugh it off. Vent, unless of course I get kicked out, and then it becomes an issue. Ventilation, heater, air conditioning block right on the floor over there. It's like on the floor over there. Probably see a little bit. So this all covered previous day. There's that Lucilus coupon for the cake for my oldest cousins, getting a wedding, $20 off. Wedding for my cousin's Ferrero Rocher package, Facebook message for both cousins, getting back to them. The eldest one recommending a career path that he's advising against becoming an optical assistant for reasons such as just men not generally getting hired. There's a bit of a mismatch in terms of what he thinks I'm going to do. I'm not going to do it long term anyways, but it was something to think about. Anyways, moving on, there's also married formality, thanking my eldest cousin for inviting me in the first place, because this is, by the way, his brother. There are two cousins much older than I am, at least, and his brother getting married with his wife. We, again, prior to this, barely knew each other and just wanted to, exchange some thanks and gratitude, because I really enjoyed my time there. I really did. We had a device, laptop scan, Bitdefender, full deep scan first time 2 days ago. We also threw some trash, snacks, ate a bunch of snacks, cleared out everything, beans, like these like weird bean type things, what is it, like a broad beans, like Chinese broad bean type snacks. It's weird, it's strange. I know you guys probably wouldn't like something like that. Then we had also nasty spider cleanup, and a silverfish as well, hand sanitizer shot. Anyways, that's a bunch of stuff. We're gonna just gonna press on this Excel. I'm gonna dive all the way down, because we covered a lot of the stuff in person in the previous days. Water 2 by, oh, that's something I should mention today, by the way. I actually should do an entry here on Excel and mention that I rarely do this, but I actually drank about 10 cups of water. That's very rare. I usually don't, and that's because I drank about 8 cups of water, which is the recommended amount, not 10. It would be nice if I had 10, and that's because I had 2 purchases of 500 milliliters of tea with low sugar, low sucralose kind of stuff outside, and then I came home, and before I went outside and after I came back, I also had another about 400 milliliters of water at twice, so that's about 1,800, about 2,000 milliliters today, and increasing as the day goes on, or night goes on, really. Skincare routine, X makeup makeshift. Best non-answer emoji, arrogant cousin. Oh, that's something, right? How to not answer someone is sometimes the best answer is to have no answer. There was a lot of advising based off of him believing that my situation is fairly similar to his, which it isn't quite really the same. But it's similar enough that he believes that there should be that much level of advisory and guidance. Um, yeah, that's a bit of arrogance that I understand, because I used to, when trying to help other people, be a little bit too forceful and arrogant myself. Um, the truth is, people's lives are incredibly different, and some, even the minor changes, or the most overlooked differences between people's lives, can amount to the greatest of difference in the required solutions. So it's not quite right to give proper suggestions or advice to other people unless you're sitting down getting to know their lives like a professional psychiatrist would, or like a mental health counselor, which isn't, I'm neither of those things. Friend weekend pre found source for the church pastor, right? The weekend pre news meeting. All right, moving down, we have chips. There's a lot of stuff here that was for the previous day, so we're just gonna skip and go all the way down. So this is today's stuff, where you see the title saying 3 out of 365 days. That's where we are anyways. Okay, I'm gonna stop, take a little deep breath. Okay. Take a bit of a deep breath. So, okay. 30 seconds, guys, 30 seconds. Okay, let's go today's stuff. Let's do it at a better pace this time. Let's not rush through everything. So the very top, let's go from top down. Fitness, shoulder, torso, leg lift. So I demonstrated a new sort of integration of exercises in the morning routine, which is a torso, leg lift kind of. In addition to the shoulder and torso that I'm demonstrated today, there's also the leg lift. Next is a cash bank money withdrawal, $200 stash. We want to get the physical cash because banks might freeze over or whatever. Skincare, aloe vera. We want to increase the amount since we gave money away technically to the weddings of our cousins. So that's largely why to withdraw more money again to maintain the same amount of actual cash outside. Skincare, aloe vera purity, so the same 99%. I made a purchase of that from TNT Supermarket finally, and I have it today. I should probably show it. Actually, give me a second. I'm gonna go grab it from the luggage bag. I just realized that I left it inside without taking out. Hold on. This is good. See, this is why it's good to review the tasks. Hold on. You can watch me. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna grab it. You can just watch me grab it. Fuck. Okay. That fell down, but no big deal. So okay, so here is the aloe vera, 99%. Let's shift this to the side a little bit, guys. 99% TNT aloe vera, the same brand, Korean brand, skincare, all that kind of stuff. The much better one, so you can see the extracts here. It's insane. It's like 35 different types of extracts from gels to from root extracts to flower extract and so on and so forth. Very useful, and we'll be using this. In fact, why don't we unbox this right now? I should have actually written that on the Excel spreadsheet. Let's just turn around here. Right, this is a work stream after all, so let's do it. Let's be active. We'll take this. We're gonna just peel it off. Let's see what's sharp. So this is a pair of scissors. I'm just gonna stick this in here, and just like that, now unbox the aloe vera. Okay, and put this away back into the drop leg over there. Okay, so this is that, and this is garbage. So I'll show you where we're gonna put the garbage later on, but over here for now. So I'm gonna have to try a new skincare routine, most likely today or tonight. Open it up right now, just to unbox, see what it looks like on the inside. Right. And I can actually uncap it. Hold on a second. For some reason, my laptop's going crazy. Hold on, guys. 95%. What the fuck were you doing? Sorry guys, I was a little alarmed. I don't know what the hell happened, but yeah, I don't know what happened, but my phone started whirring like crazy. Not my phone, I meant my laptop in the backdrop started going crazy. Anyways, so we unbox this and it looks like this, and there's a little cap on the inside. There's a little lever, and I guess we can take it off very gently. Oh, I see. Okay, I have to be careful here. I just got some on my hands. So what I've done is I've closed it. I know it works. What I'm going to do now is stash this away for future use. So we've unboxed it. We've talked about this. It costs $7. Same price as the other. Ironically, the much worse alcohol-based 92% with lots of artificials and so on and so forth. We'll place this up there. Much fewer extracts. And you know what the irony is? Same thing with the expiry date 2024. So this one actually is still can be has the same amount of this one is just so much better. It's so much more natural. It has much better ingredients and extracts, and has fewer preservatives, fewer alcohol irritation, inflammation inducing artificial chemicals, and then on top of that, it has the same expiry date. It doesn't go foul any sooner, and it still maintains the beneficial properties. So I don't know why I even bother having the other one. I'll just keep it there just in case. I'm gonna put this up there somewhere. Let's figure it out. I'm gonna stand here for a moment and try to figure out where it goes, and you're just gonna watch me, I guess, rock my head over this. It's green. We should put it somewhere it's green. Space is tight. It's hard. I can't find a place for this. It's rough. This is by far the most useful thing. I can't find a place for this. It's gonna be part of the skincare routine that we're gonna have to use to clean up our face. Or like we've had this face messed up for almost 6 months now, so half a year. It's not healing anytime soon on its own. Laptop going crazy again. What I realized, by the way, is that just because the laptop fan's going crazy doesn't mean that it's actually in trouble. It's not running a process or anything. It's just really, it's just getting hot because the background processes are increasing the heat of the laptop very gradually until the fan does turn on, and when it does turn on, it's very loud. So I mean, I guess that's the Intel processor, Intel design versus the AMD design for you. So AMD, the fan's typically always on, but because of that, it keeps the temperature a lot lower, and even though it's constantly, there's always a background fan noise. At the very least, when it does have the fan's not very loud compared to the Intel. I'm still thinking about where to put this. Jeez. Still trying to figure this out. Okay, so here's a temporary solution. Since I can't figure out a place to put it, and right now it's not obvious, since there's not enough space, we'll decide not to waste any more time and just give a placeholder location, which is right there next to the chains. So you see the chain hanging down. We can put it on top of the lid, which closes the chain box and it prevents the dust from falling inside the chains. So at least there's some utility. This is quite heavy. I'll keep it down. So, and ideally I want to put it on the side like this, but if I keep it standing up, I'm afraid that the aloe vera gel is going to start leaking out the sides. So I want to do it like that, but it doesn't seem viable. So I'm going to keep it flat, and it doesn't look great, but it's okay. I mean, all that really matters is that that it's somewhere over there where all the toiletries are. And I think in the future we'll figure out where to put the aloe vera case, the aloe vera gel, but for now we're just gonna have to deal with that. And it's not that important where it goes really. At least it's serving some sort of purpose by closing the box. Now we have this little piece of paper here, and what I can do is show you what I intend on throwing this away as. Because in the backdrop, actually there is some food, and I'm gonna show you where that food is. Next to the door. That food over there, package, is actually, I'm giving it to my brother later on in the night. So this is some really unhealthy Chinese supermarket pepper sprinkled chicken pieces, like chicken fillet nugget, and then there's also chicken wings in here. I already had plenty. I don't need any more. It's probably incredibly unhealthy for me to eat so much, but it's very cheap. It's for like $5 for the wings, and then even cheaper for the chicken patties was like $3, so $8. So I'm basically holding it right now with the receipt, as well as because it's quite oily on the outside, hence why it's so unhealthy. But it was just a way. So the reason I purchased this is so that I could actually be outside and camp out until past around 9:30 to 10, and then I could come back and when the landlord's asleep. So that way I can just focus on my work and not be impeded by her temper tantrums and gossip and overall unfriendliness. So what we're going to do here is all just a distraction from what you need to do. So I'm going to take this here and say this is all garbage. I can use this to hold the styrofoam box, which is quite oily, and keep it from touching the bottom of the case. So I can use this, and then we'll just give this to my brother. And I left a plate downstairs for my guardians and to try out. It's pretty tasty, but I've had enough. So we'll just use this to cover the bottom, put it away. And later at night we'll just give it to him. Now let's move on to the next task. So you've seen the food there, and what I should technically do, if that's the case, is just draw down here to the side and show you the recording, how much it cost, and so on and so forth. Because there's a price to all this, right? So on the left hand side, you can see me expanding a little bit, which is right here, where it says food from a dentistry office, one item, class 1, class 4. Got it because I did technically pay money for the dental appointment. And then class 4 because I gave it away, a Tic Tac, a fruity flavored Tic Tac box to my brother, half a box. Didn't cost me anything, so $0, 0 cents. And then the next is a cash item, so residential. So I talked about going outside today, withdrawing about $200 because of the wedding costs, and just generally giving to my cousins for their celebration of their beloved journey together. And that means that I need more cash again because I need some cash just in case the bank freezes over. Then we have health items underneath. that is from T&T Supermarket, and that is exactly that's the aloe vera that I was talking about. So that cost not $9.22, but the transaction cost $9.22 only because we purchased something else, which was a green tea drink. The green tea drink was $1.66 after tax. The aloe vera, the same brand, Korean beauty kind of skincare thing. I don't really care too much about beauty products, but the fact is that's what it is. $7.56. I just want to heal my skin on my face from all the inflammation, and it looks horrible. Uh, okay, next we have the logistical food. So we were able to camp outside. So 3 items, two kind of deep fried chicken kind of stuff, and then not healthy at all. And then we had a tea, which was had like a little bit of sugar, a little bit of sucralose. Again, I choose drinks that don't have too much sugar because of inflammation and stuff like that. It's just not good for your health, not good for your cardiovascular system, not good for your heart, and so on and so forth. It's sugar's like aging kind of. All right. Next is giving that same food, right? That I purchased for $9.91. That's that deep fried chicken kind of stuff. Giving half of it, maybe 40%, 30% of it over to my brother, a little tip for my guardians to sample, see what it's like. Tastes pretty good. Next thing down the list, we have T&T Supermarket, and what that is oh, right, that's me eating food that my guardians cooked. So it's a class 2 item, it's a depth food item. And yeah, so that's all the monetary financial budgeting today. So we withdrew about $200. That's not a cost or anything, right? That's just me transferring, moving money around from digital to physical. Then we have some actual expenses, which mostly was not very it was unnecessary expense, I would say. It's just food, even if it was for camping out and working outside of the library, which is what we did for about 8 hours, and then we went for about 6 hours, and then we went to eat outside. So it's kind of like subsidiary to it, but it's really just not that necessary, the supermarket items. Now, the health item was kind of important, the aloe vera gel, so maybe cut that down. Expenses, nevertheless, rose to about $19 today, not that great, considering that I don't have a job as of yet. And my backup job kind of like my agency kind of fell apart. So moving back here, let's kind of get rid of all that stuff. We're done talking about that. Take a break. Take a break, breathe in, breathe out, and then we'll continue discussing this stuff on the left-hand side. Meanwhile, by the way, I'm going to go to the laptop. I'm going to type in some stuff that I realized I should have typed in to Excel on the side. Hopefully it automatically updates on screen. If it doesn't, that's fine. Okay, so we see here. So the things we want to update are the fact that we can in fact run the live stream at the same time that we update the Excel. So we can in real time update what we are presenting and speaking about. So if we're talking about all these things, we can also update them with the ideas that I am coming up with in real time without having to be actually behind the phone camera. So it's a logistical issue, it's a technical video making production sort of matter. I don't have to be behind the phone and editing what's inside. I can't actually do that anyway. So that was a big problem with live streaming like this, is that I have all sorts of ideas that are useful and productive while I'm doing the live stream, but I can't take note of it if I'm behind the phone all the time. The fact is I don't need to be behind the phone. And what I can do is actually have the laptop running the exact same Excel spreadsheet on my laptop, is the same spreadsheet that's on the live stream mobile phone right now on the live streaming app. So I can update it in front of the camera of the phone and be live at the same time that I'm working on the very live stream that is running. So I'm working on the live stream that's running at the same time that the live stream is running itself. So it's like real-time updating. That's great. That's something that was a challenge for me previously in other lives in the past 3-4 years that I used to do it, 4 or 5 years really, because I had to do it on the screen of the mobile phone, which is very inconvenient. So let's go do that right now. Okay, so what we want to update, first of all, let's just talk about them as we enter them. So the real-time update, being able to work on the Excel widget at the same time that we're doing the live stream. So let's put that in right now. Move the camera closer. What am I doing? What am I doing? So blunder there. Okay, so another one that we're going to update, we just did right now, but we'll have to do off stream. What we typed into Excel right now, but we have to do off stream, is that we want to change the live stream niche on Twitch from talk show and podcast over to just chatting, just for general purposes of having a greater reach. But it's certainly more competitive, I understand that. Anyways, it's not a big deal. It's something that I figured makes more sense. Okay, so now that we have that done, let's sit down. Right, with the real-time updating out of the way. Oh, you know what? Let's practice it. So what we're gonna do, I'm going to be in front of the camera. And as I'm in front of the camera, I'm going to present what we have on live stream. So it's challenging for me. I'm going to try and put on the ring light now because of this. So that's something I have to, you know what, let's type that in then. So on the laptop, let's say set up, test the light on the ring light. Also two things. So first is presentation skills in front of the camera, having the material in front of the camera. Presentation, present, professional, 5, content, professional. So, okay, so we're going to be presenting in front of the camera, and I'm going to be using the material on the laptop. So that's what we've got. And okay, so next what we'll do is take this ring light, so untwist and unwind. Testing here, just to make sure you can see it, twist and unwind. And as it untwists and it unwinds, what we'll do is just as it untwists and it unwinds, we'll connect this USB into the port of the laptop. Now what we'll do is show the laptop. Let me show the so there's the switch right there. Getting a feel for where the camera is, geez. It's a lot higher than I always think. So it's glowing now. If I turn it on, let's see. Whoa, it's bright. It's bright. You can see me very well actually when you do this. And what I'm going to do is going to test this by viewing it on Twitch. Wow. All right. So, yeah, you can hear. I can hear my own voice this time. That's a good feel for how I actually sound in real life. And let's test what it sounds like how it looks when I turn off the ring light. All right. So I'm actually quite visible still. I'm surprised it's not making that big of a difference. Even when I dim the light, and I anticipate the reason for this is because the phone is very good at contrast. It's making me a lot brighter. It's making me stand out from the background. I just switched it to warm light. Cool light. Okay, so I like how it's working. Warm, white, warm. This is warm light. This is the blue light, and this is the mid. It's a mixture of it's beige. Now this really tells me that whenever I live stream using the camera on the phone, I have to turn off the auto adjust. Otherwise, the phone tends to change the contrast according to the background. So, all right. Now I'm going to test the volume of my voice and see how loud I am based off of the distance I am. So right now I'm speaking about maybe 2 hand lengths in front of the camera, but I want to move, say, 2 feet away and maybe like 70 centimeters, see how loud I am. Can I still hear myself on stream? So test 1, 2. I don't know, it's just the cat in the hat, I don't know, something. I don't know. Test 1, 2, audio test 1, 2. Stream elements, live. Ahn Rho is now live stream talking, streaming in talk shows and podcasts, how to patch our life. So it's very quiet if I walk away by like 2 feet. All right, so the light's off, and it's not making that big of a difference because once again the phone is auto adjusting. Right, so I've unplugged the USB cable from the phone because we don't really need it if that's the case. And I'm just going to tie it, the USB cable around the ring light to make sure that doesn't fall. Save it for future use. I also updated on Excel um, mentioning that I unboxed the aloe vera gel as well on camera. So we didn't actually write that down previously. What I did just now is I browsed on Twitch's talk show and podcasting segment to see what it was like. People's stream setups, what they tend to do, how they tend to do it. Probably have to do some sort of comparisons and contrasts and see what I should do to improve things very early on and continuously. Okay, now I'm browsing just chatting. All right, so I just did that entry onto Excel as well. All right, cool. Let's get a drink of water. Ah, I should write that down, a drink of water. I drank 2 liters of water today. Very good. So let's continue that streak. Water. Cool. So let's actually practice the presentation that I said I should practice, right? So let's lift up the, let's get the camera ready, move up, adjust the phone to suitable height, face my chest. We're gonna test this on Twitch. And so I've increased the volume on Twitch a bit, and about maybe a foot, my voice is about a foot, 1 foot away from the phone mic. Stick the USB cord into the laptop side pocket. Turn on the ring light. Lower the brightness a bit. Make it warm. I like the white light. Take some screenshots on Excel. And it turns out that I can in fact hear myself pretty well as long as I speak clearly and I increase the volume on Twitch itself. So I don't actually have to worry too much about the volume as long as I'm this close to the phone. Even if I don't as long as I'm not, even if I don't have the quadcast mic operational on the phone, that's still okay. So now I'm going to lower the volume on Twitch, and here's another thing, I'm gonna get feedback. I'm gonna type in entry, feedback from presentation, feedback evaluation, real time, from Twitch, practice. Okay, so it also allows me to gather my pacing, body language, feedback. It's like 10, switch to next. Body language, prose, timing, and so on and so forth. So this is really feeling a lot like a sort of like a school project or a university lecture, seminar, or a work-related business presentation, or an interview that I'm running right now with an employer, or a sales pitch I'm giving to a client. It also feels a lot like a volunteer presentation that I've done for a non-charitable NGO organization in the past. So these are some general feelings I'm getting. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of Twitch now. Or, no, I'm going to keep it running. And get the feedback. There's a delay of about 5 seconds, I believe. I'm going to fix up my shoulders a little bit. Oh. Get my posture correct. Okay. All right. So, what are we going to present? We're going to probably try and present the numerous. We will continue down the list of Excel tasks that we had left off maybe about half an hour ago. All right. So we left off previously at, it seems like there are about 25 different tasks done in one particular segment today outside at the library, and another maybe 8 tasks that we did in real time since the live stream started when we came back from the library and entered our residence. I noticed, by the way, my back posture, my neck tends to lurch forward, so I gotta make a conscious effort to stand up straight. I have to stand up straight, and I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna mention that in the Excel document as a new entry. Posture. And add a little bit of humor in it. I notice I'm very dry. I'm speaking, it's like, it's not very conversational, it's not very entertaining, it's not very engaging. I'm going to add some emotion and some spontaneity and a little bit of comedy, because let's say my back posture sucks. That's a much better way of saying my back posture just sucks, as opposed to saying my shoulders or muscles are lurching forward. Like, what does that even mean, right? My neck is lurching forward, my shoulder is bending over on a weird angle. What I should really say is just my back posture sucks. I have bad back posture. Fix it. And I should probably study anatomy and learn the 4 muscle groups that make up the structure of the shoulder, of the neck. Think of the trapezius and so on and so forth, and the scapula. But we'll make note of that also for the future. So give me about 10 seconds to write that all down. I can't keep speaking and write at the same time. So we'll talk about speech patterns, first of all. Maybe about 4 things, such as pacing, giving myself time to think, so being thoughtful about what I say, but also being spontaneous, adding some spontaneity. Thoughtful. Um, the thoughtfulness has to do with content and substance, right? But the spontaneity has some emotion and some comedy, and it's more engaging and interesting. And that just makes for an overall more enjoyable stream. But all of these elements are important. So having pacing, having thoughtful dialogue, something of substance, being able to convey some emotion, add in some humor, some jokes, and to speak more clearly and more concisely, avoiding convoluted words and awkward phrasing. So, humor and comedy, I'm typing that in. Engaging stream, engaging interaction, including humor, comedy, satire, right? There's something else missing from here, but I can't remember what it was exactly. It's probably body language, I presume. Hand gestures. Non-verbal communication. So, non-verbal communication, am I facing the camera? Right, spontaneity, that's the important part. So having some natural flowing language, natural language. Less robotic. Or awkward phrasing. I just realized this makes fewer awkward phrasing. You mean less awkward phrasing? Fucking dope. Alright, there we go. And just be less serious, right? You don't have to be so serious. So it's demeanor. It's like demeanor, atmosphere, less serious. Convert, lighthearted, right? Like relax, chill out a little bit, relax. Okay. It helps to actually be able to hear myself speak, though. That's a big difference. Even seeing myself makes me want to stand up properly. I notice now how much I'm actually I notice how much I'm actually standing on an angle as I'm live streaming. Not just live streaming. When I'm actually working in front of the computer, I can see how much my entire body shifts on an incline, on almost an 85-degree angle forwards. That's crazy. imagine you had this feedback when you started, doing any sort of activity. You got real-time feedback from a third party or a mentor. I know a lot of people do get it, but very many of us don't have the social connections or the professional connections or so on and so forth, or any sort of like friendships, because we've been so used to dysfunctional relationships that we don't get any proper feedback from the world. But what a difference it makes. Even right now, I'm not really speaking to anybody. It's just the man in the mirror, so to speak. And I'm learning so much. Okay. Wow. Learning about yourself. Visual, audibly, thoughtfully, orally. So this is a lot of that kind of, it just really takes us back to when we were kids, right? Oral communication, verbal, visual, so like body language, as well as some of the content itself. So the nature of the content, thought. Okay, so shouldn't pause too often. That's something I notice. Improvements. Pausing too often. Commonly used euphemisms, ahs, ums. I do tend to say a lot, or not but I tend to pause and leave off on a trailing tangent. I don't complete my sentences or my thoughts. That's something else that I need work on, it seems like, because I never complete my thoughts. I just leave on an empty, I leave a thought incomplete halfway through the sentence as I'm trying to explain it. And then I continue it maybe a couple seconds down the road. It becomes like a rambling mess. It's not concise. It's not direct. So the way to describe this as I'm typing it down would be, I guess, rambling. So to run on, disorderly, disjointed, discontinuous, speech, like sentences, thoughts, explanations, right? All of that is not very good. Takes away from the presentation. Takes away from the flow of the live stream, as well as if this were to become a video or a podcast. Okay, so now that we have that kind of basic stuff down in terms of feedback that I want to get down right away immediately, what we want to do, and I'm listening to myself say things from the stream on Twitch, that's why I tend to take pauses So I recognize that I have to stop doing that as often. I have to stop listening to myself right now and just deliver the presentation. Pay less heed attention to feedback stream, more to material. And we will have to review all of this later, so that's something else we have to do. We have to review and practice. Let's consider, what should we say? Give me about 5-10 seconds to think about. I tend to write lines where I only use, I only start the next line of notes with a word that hasn't had its first letter of the alphabet of the 26 consonants vowels used in the previous, say, 10 lines of blockage. So all I'm saying is that basically I want to start the next line with a word, another vocabulary, piece of vocabulary that starts off, with a different letter than, let's say, the past starting words of the entire block of notes that I've just made. Return, review, and practice are all good words to use, but they've all start with a P and an R, which I've already used previously. So what I'm going to do, since it's too difficult, I'm going to work around this by changing the previous note, which says pay less heed or attention and being self-conscious to feedback and live stream and more to the material itself. I'm going to change that to tune. Tuning less. I'm going to add tune, and then the next line will be practice, review, rehearse, return above previous material. Alright, so let's go back to the content that we had at the beginning of the live stream. Let's run through the summary. Okay, so I noticed that I always have to move closer to the phone and the ring light, which suggests that I'm standing closer to the laptop, which is too far from the mic of the phone to capture my voice. I need to move the items closer, and what I'm going to do is make note of that as well. I need a concrete, quantifiable distance. So if I measure this, just ballpark it, it seems to be about 1 meter between the laptop and the ring light, or the mic on the phone. And the way that everything's positioned, I have to be within about 1 foot from the mic of the phone, or maybe a little bit more. Let's give it a little bit more leeway. Let's say about half a meter, so 50 centimeters. I gotta be about half a meter away from half a meter. I have to be at most, a maximum of 50 centimeters or half a meter away from the phone mic. And no further, otherwise it won't capture the audio really well. So technical aspects. I'm going to put on Excel, I'm going to refer to this as technical aspects. Distancing. Here's ring light. So the ring light, 50 centimeters tops from mouth, from presenter. And also measure that the laptop or not the laptop, but whatever, yes, it could be the laptop, but the laptop is just an example. Whatever material I'm engaging with, distance, measure that, make sure that the distance between the audio recording device, which is the phone right now, and the actual activity that I'm reading from, scripting, script material, script outline, something like that, a layout. No further than 2 feet. So about maybe like 70 centimeters. Or 2.5 feet. And that's important because otherwise I can't actually refer to the reading material. And then I don't have an organized direction of where I want to take the stream, which is the next thing that I should highlight. Orientation. Or the goal, trajectory, goal orientation, direction, trajectory, clear. I should have a clear goal or very obvious goal or purpose or direction that I'm taking the stream. And to chime in on that, the related note is that the opposite of being clear is to be wandering, right? Confusion. Wandering, confusing, stuttering. Communication is not good. And I need to have a clearer direction. So it shouldn't be too subtle. It shouldn't be. What is a word, a synonym for non-obvious? Like something that's not clear, that needs to be read between the lines. Confusing, stuttering, and overall aimless, directionless. So versus aimless, wandering. Pursuit. Right, so that took about 10 seconds, but it's very important. And then we're going to say it should also be clear and concise and easy to understand. Communication versus broken versus confusing, broken, stutter. Pauses. Okay, all right. So that's very nice. Let's try to apply everything that we've written down here. Over to the block of tasks that we have to summarize on stream that we left off about maybe 40 minutes ago. So let's dive back. All right, so let's do a brief introduction. So this particular stream started with, as you can see in the title, how to patch our life on the third day out of 365 days through 10 steps minimum a day. So daily steps taken to improve our life. And then there's a bunch of emojis and funny stuff behind to represent like a deadpan face, but also to symbolize the Ahn Rho Project as a whole, which is why there's like a goblin face. That's kind of the emoji that's most similar to the logo or profile that I created. Now, there's some connection to what the Ahn Rho Project was from birth, which is this psychiatric self-therapeutic project meant to resolve the problems, challenges, and obstacles, the negative influences in life, as well as a strategy also to strive for the positive influences, the ambitions, goals, and challenges that we set for ourselves, as well as for those we care around us, the community, our friends, our relatives, our significant other, maybe our children if you have grandkids even. So today while we were outside, what did that comprise of, these things that we had to do? The first thing was, well, actually this isn't even outside, so when we got up, after brushing your teeth and using the washroom and coming back is probably, I should have written here that I jumped into the live stream immediately. Now I didn't write that or type that into Excel, and the reason why I didn't do that is because it's already logged into a previous block of tasks. I remember that I have written that down somewhere. So if I search it, I should be able to find that. The first thing that I did write was that we had a different improvement in addition to the morning routine of fitness. And that routine that changed, the change that was implemented in the morning routine of fitness was some leg lifts. So from the lateral side and the posterior. So basically from the side and the back, most importantly, because that's where I have most struggle and challenge lifting my legs and doing repetitions, so reps. So very low leg strength, and that makes a lot of sense because I sit down far too often, which is probably why I don't have very much muscle strength there. I don't actually use those muscles. They probably just kind of don't exist at this point. But I want to train that a little bit if I want to make some back kicks or round kicks as a part of Taekwondo, integrated into like UFC kind of combat martial arts for self-defense and also just for general health and fitness. Am I standing up straight? Let's check the feedback. I am not standing up straight, or not straight enough, and I'm going to sort that out right now. I'm also going to put my neck back. Let's move our shoulders a little bit. Crack it out. Okay, good. This standing desk is amazing, by the way. If it weren't for the standing desk, I would be so unhealthy right now. Or I'm already unhealthy, but if it weren't for the standing desk, I would be so much more unhealthy. I'm going to turn the camera to the side a little bit, move it a little bit closer, and move the camera facing up to cover the little chin, maybe a little bit of the chin, because it gets closer, then you can't really see my face as well. Oh, you can only see my Adam's apple now. That's not too useful. All right. So next, yeah, my neck is still bending forward. Huh? That requires some serious. I'm assuming this is going to require some physiotherapy to correct my back posture, especially my neck area. So physiotherapy for the neck. Physiotherapy, muscular training for the neck region. Neck region exercises. Lean backwards. I have to lean backwards a little bit. I notice that's what it is. I lean forwards. I should lean backwards. Lean back. Forwards. Okay. Cool. Let's continue down the list. That was a lot to say just for one item, so that was not very concise. I need to make sure that I make better use of my time. So let's say time management is very important. Scarcity. Explanations, my descriptions are too long. I'm going to enter that as a new line. Explanations, too long, convoluted. So time management is a big one. We put that as a new entry block. I also noticed that I don't have very good vocabulary, or that I don't string together my thoughts very well. They're all disjointed. Right. It's like a bunch of different concepts, not they're all disconnected. Not sure if this is to do with vocabulary or because I don't have enough practice communicating. I think it's just practice communicating. Hopefully that improves as we get more feedback and try to apply those changes. So, in other words, we need to finish our thoughts. Finish our thoughts coherently. Completeness, let's say, is the what I'm looking for. I'm going to actually type that in. Finish our thoughts. And I'm going to move time management in the same block actually, but let's say holistic time management. Keep in mind how much time I have planned for a certain activity and make sure that the specific tasks and minutiae in between and the steps fit within that allocated time or window. Steps, individual steps, tasks fit within allocated time, allocated schedule. Convoluted. And finish our thoughts coherently, completely, to avoid disjointed, choppy communication, broken. I noticed that my pitch is also strange. I'm straining my voice. So we have vocals training. Pitch is strained upwards. And it's not relaxed. Not relaxed. Speech. Unnatural. Forced. I need to open my voice a little, open my chest, open my diaphragm. Open chest, diaphragm. Open chest, diaphragm. Wow, that's a lot that I've written down. Once again, my neck coming forwards. I look like some sort of contortionist. This is like the exorcism on stream right now. Ugh. All right. Okay, so, and I'm leaning forwards again. Gotta stop leaning forwards. Stop leaning forward so often. Okay. I'm looking down at the laptop as well. Should make the laptop tilt upwards at an angle so I can. Okay. So there's some ergonomics here actually at play. So I should make the laptop the angle of the laptop. Tilt upwards to eye level. Okay, so returning back to the content that we had left off once again 10 minutes ago. So sticking to the new feedback of completeness, we're going to try to complete all 20 of these task summaries before we move on and bring some emotion, bring some spontaneity. Make sure that my pitch is not too forced or strained. Make sure I have a natural sounding voice. Use my chest, open the diaphragm a little bit. Naturally, don't overthink things, so that's something else in terms of thought. Don't have to think too much, right? Heavy overthinking versus not thinking enough, but neither are good. Alright, so if we go back to the very top and start again. So fitness, shoulder, I don't have a plan, that's what it is. I didn't have a plan. Right? Didn't plan ahead before giving content, before providing content, before, presenting, before presentation, planning, i.e. just general management. Alright, so back to the fitness and shoulder thing. We should probably do this. What I'm going to do is just going to take maybe 20 seconds to pause and then drink some water. And then we'll start again. Maybe 30 seconds. We'll try to get some breathing exercises in as well. I notice that my head tends to move forwards whenever I drink water. So these are some bad habits, maladaptive habits. Muscle memory, bad habits. It's probably like 90 bad habits I have, honestly. So I'm just gonna limit it here to say, let's say, neck movements. Let's say 7. Neck moves forward. Eating, drinking, watching, etc. Shouldn't. Should. Probably make that 2 different entries. Okay, so let's face you. And what does facing you look like? Let me take a look on the stream. Alright. So let's cover the content. First, which we covered already, was fitness, regarding exercises that I did on the bed, and covering some exercises that I hadn't covered on live stream, including the lateral and posterior leg lifts. So to the side, to the back. I have a hard time doing multiple reps of those because I just tend to sit too often or stuff like that. But I would like to change that so that I can do some real back kicks or spinning round kicks kind of stuff for taekwondo, some sort of martial arts, not just for self-defense but for overall health. Template. I keep jumping back and forth now. Having a template is important. Having a template for what to say. Template chunks and blocks of content scripting. E.g., and I give an example of the process. It would be like 5 steps. It would be what, concept, what object, what item, concept, and then we covered the tasks, verb, action, what we did, and then so that's with respect to the person, who, and then covers the purpose or why, goals, right? And then the benefits or features, right? having some value, emotion, morals, excitement, rage, controversy, interest, which I will include as a separate one, benefits, values. So intense emotion and benefits or features or values of emotion. So So we jump back then. After we finished talking about the leg list, we're supposed to talk about withdrawing the money, about $200, $150 from the bank, and stashing that away somewhere in residence as opposed to having it all in the bank due to a wedding. Next item, again, trying to keep things brief and concise. Don't ramble too much about one particular topic, keeping in mind that you have 25 different items and a limited amount of energy to speak before your voice starts to fray. So skincare, aloe vera, purity, the same, or the same is the name, or the sign. I don't know how to pronounce that Korean name. 99% aloe vera extracts, all sorts of different extracts, flower, root, herbal extracts, minus the alcohol, minus the isopropyl alcohol, or benzoyl, or the benzyl alcohols, right? Which have been worn to be this is what planning's all about, right? Like, that's why I don't have the right verbs, don't have the right words and vocabulary. I just didn't plan it out. But I can't make everything planned out, so this is something that's this is really bugging me, because well, it shouldn't bother me. That's one thing. So don't dwell. That's something I should write down. Don't dwell. Don't dwell. Negative loops. Alright, so whatever. Skincare, aloe vera. Unboxing the same brand competitor to Natural Republic's aloe vera moisturizing and soothing gel. Think before you speak. If you cannot, there's a solution. Okay, I'm gonna move that down. Think complete sentences, phrases before speaking. Solution. Specific solution. Case specific solution. Okay. What's with all the there's someone tuning in, huh? My voice was a little bad today. Yelled too much this evening. If I want to reply to this person actually. This person tuned in as well, so I want to just. I'm going to move the Excel spreadsheet to the side. If there's a way I can. Yeah. Bear with me. How is it not bigger? This channel has so many videos. What is it about? How is it not bigger? My voice is a little bad. Yelled too much this evening. Yeah, this channel. This person probably isn't here anymore, but thanks for tuning in, Mihail. How do you pronounce your name, Mihail? He's not here anymore, but if I could answer his question right now, probably like an hour later. Oh, I need feedback on stream. That's important to have engagement. I didn't actually notice when someone was talking to me, and that's very important, right? So I should be able to see the live chat somehow. So which means at all times, I need a method. So chat viewing method is imperative. It's a must. Because viewer interaction, I'm missing critical. This is a critical problem. I'm missing viewer interaction, right? Like questions, comments. So that's bad. So this channel has so many. It does have a lot of videos. It was supposed to be a project. This channel is part of a project to solve my personal issues at the time. And how is it not bigger? Oh, the reason why the channel's not bigger, Mihail, is because the channel just kind of sucks. The video content is not. It's not well developed, right? It's not very interesting. It's not engaging. People just wouldn't find this stuff interesting because it's not funny or educational, right? If you watch a video or a live stream, or for live streams particularly, it's for something personal. You want to watch someone because they're funny, or they're stimulating in some way, or maybe you can relate to them and their stories. But for my streams, they tend not to be, because I'm not very good at presenting, or I wasn't, and I technically still am not. Previously, I would also say that it was not very educational, and even to this day, it's also not very educational. It's not like people watching this are learning or getting anything of value from this specifically. What time point is this? This is I need to timestamp. I need a way to timestamp everything. So that's something else I gotta write down for the task list to do. Timestamp. That's really important because I'm explaining certain things at certain moments in time. I want to capture them. Capture. But how do I do that? Capture timestamps. On highlights, clips. Okay. How is it not bigger? My voice was a little bad today. Yelled too much this evening, he says. Okay, so I'm gonna move Excel back. Alright, let's move on. Back. I didn't notice that there was a viewer. Thanks for tuning in, Mel. I guess you were working, huh? You said your voice was a little bad. What do you do for work? Construction? I've done construction jobs myself, yeah, dude. But anyways, let's move on. He's probably gone now. And he probably won't be coming back, so it's too bad. And actually, that's good for him. I don't think that my streams are worth coming back to at this point right now. I hope that you guys spend your time elsewhere on different channels which are more useful or engaging or funny or relatable to you. At least until I develop my content well enough that it's actually worth watching or engaging with. Ideally both, watching and engaging with, so you would be able to answer polls or activate certain commands on stream that create special effects, that move the camera or whatever, stuff like that. Participate maybe in like giveaways or some weird stuff down the road. I don't think that I will ever get to that point, but some sort of engagement, material and physical. Moving on, back to where we used to be. We're not moving on, we're moving back. Skincare, aloe vera, newspaper. So newspaper we have we tried to purchase some newspapers, something called Xingdou, and that's a Chinese newspaper that's renowned for being more granting of freedom towards people who are posting articles on it or opinionated pieces, as opposed to the Mingbo to my Xingdou. They're kind of like opposites, right? One has much more media management control over the content that they give, and Xingdou, that one is like that one has far less control, gives much more freedom to people who want to post stuff there. But the thing is, one of my guardians asked me to purchase the more freedom-oriented newspaper, better for business opportunities, for finding new places to rent. But unfortunately, for the 2 or 3 supermarkets I went to, Chinese supermarkets, all of them said that, all the cashiers said that they were completely sold out. So that's something that I did. Afterwards, I also, and this is a little funny because I tend to go on these little trips outside. Back when I was in university days, I would always try to find the cleanest washroom somewhere. I don't know if you guys ever do stuff like that, but that's something I used to do. Basically, I had to do the same thing, right? I'm looking for clean washrooms because even to this day, I'm only renting as a tenant. I don't have my own house. Sad face. Feels bad, man. Those kind of memes. But I tend to use outdoor facilities whenever I can. I also sort of had to avoid the landlord right now, who's throwing quite a bit of a fit, and an understandable fit because of how many people are actually living in this household. So there's too much conflict going on for just general lifestyle things like cooking, using the washroom, taking a shower, and just noise levels, right? Right now I'm live streaming. She probably doesn't like that for obvious reasons. It's like midnight. So yeah, it just sucks. Just too many people living in the same house, man. Moving on, the 6th item here is a light file scan screenshot. There's some words strung together. So light file scan screenshot transfer phone USB. What that refers to is the light file size transfers from my mobile device, my phone, over to a USB at the library. So that's usually the step one of saving any documented capture of my life. That's a reference to, I guess, Dr. Ali Abdal's sort of second brain, which is also a reference in turn to Getting Things Done, that book about productivity. Okay, so moving down the list, then immediately after the light files are the heavy file transfers, and those typically involve photos and videos and so on and so forth, from the phone USB over to my old laptop. So we're moving from the library computers, desktops, over to the USB. Oh wait, no, sorry, that doesn't make a lot of sense. We're moving files from our phone over to the USB through the desktop. So hold on, let me sort this out. It goes from my mobile phones, where I take and capture the photos, videos, media, over to the computer laptop as an intermediary, and then the the library computer desktop, and then through that intermediary into the USB that I have plugged in. So from the phone to the computer desktop at the library, and then over to the mini USB. And we do that for both the light file transfers, like screenshots and scanned documents, as well as the heavy file transfers, such as photographs and video transfers. Number 7 is extracting all of the utility from those photographs and videos. So selecting really is the better word choice I should have used. So any experiences, any memorable moments that were particularly worthwhile, like going to the beach with, say, a significant other, like my girlfriend or fiance, going to a national park with my cousin, seeing my elder cousin's weddings or my best friend's wedding, or so on and so forth. Moments like that, or something that's just interesting, worth capturing, selecting for those photographs and videos, and moving it to a folder where I can easily identify, search, and retrieve those moments to reflect on in the future. Okay, let me sort my neck then. Okay, next item down. So transfer, mass storage, laptop, Seagate drive. So this one refers to transferring all of the light and heavy files that we have also selected for, as well as the more chaotic, disorganized excess files of photos and media assets, the stuff that isn't all that useful and worthwhile. Just taking all of that and moving it from the USB, which was from the library desktop intermediary, which was originally at the smartphones. So from the smartphones over to in the library desktop, then over to the gigabyte USB, and then connecting the USB over to my laptop, my old laptop, by the way, and as a second intermediary, and then moving it to a hard drive, the Seagate 5 terabyte hard drive, lots of space, storage space. So that's the next step. Question, prompt, employment, resume, materials needed. So this one talks about this particular clusterfuck of words. Refers to the whole interview, application, job, career selection process and preparation, as well as actually doing it. So we can sort of break that down, which is the next line, into the resume portion. So starting the resume, mass compiling a composite of 4 different sources of Microsoft Excel resumes, Excel database of my skill sets and experiences, and the LinkedIn profile that I have online, consolidating all that into a new Word document and reorganizing and rehashing and punching out maybe 2 or 3 resumes for different types of jobs I would like to try out. Probably office, clerical, administrative, and merchandising, sort of in the supermarket. Very low entry barrier jobs, not really. And then there's also going to be a third one, definitely for probably warehousing, but particularly shipping and receiving. I'd like to get my hands into that, learn how to work a warehouse, seeing as a system software, so my SQL database kind of skill set and experience. That is what I want to acquire a little bit of. Next one is also related to career, so online portfolio review. I went online today at the library and searched up my name, punched it out, and lo and behold, obviously there are many other people with the same name, and I just wanted to see not my ranking, but actually what I had on my portfolio. So I reviewed it. It was pretty shitty. It's really fucking old. It's old as shit. It's like 2012. That's more than a decade old of experiences. Even volunteering and work-related experiences that I have already left recently and probably a couple years back were not even included in that resume. I didn't even, to put in perspective, I didn't even record the start of me entering those new jobs, of me entering those recent or actually old jobs and old volunteer gigs. So old volunteer experiences, old employment experience, even old activities and projects are not included in this incredibly old, much older resume. That's how, or portfolio online on LinkedIn. So that's how old it is. And okay, moving on. Also related to careers. So design, layout, simple 5 by 7 by 18 resume contents. So that's just me saying I was laying out all the segments of the resume. So what do you have during a resume? Inside a resume, you have like the contact information, you have the experiences for the workplace, employment, you have volunteering experiences, you may have extracurricular activities, and you may have certificates and awards. And then maybe a little line that says references upon request. Me just sort of making sure I take a look. Also one for skills and languages. Language is a big one. Skills, qualifications. So just trying to figure out which of those content blocks and headings should be relevant to me and the jobs that I'm seeking and the interviewers and the companies and what they want. What would really catch their attention, but is also actually useful for them. Okay, I just move my neck forward again. Let's try not to do that too often, okay? Okay. Trying to get my shoulders working around. Stretch up a little bit. Kind of, okay. That's what it looks like on stream. It's kind of gross. You can see the folds on my neck. This one's like pod jacking moment from this kind of thing. Alright, whatever. Moving down the list once again. Buy, test, new deal, hot food. What does that mean? So testing new food that's on sale at the Chinese supermarket, and that's some sort of chicken patty with black pepper on it, as well as and there were many. There were like 10 chicken patties. Like it was all for $3. Very cheap, very unhealthy. And then we also had some chicken wings, so that was more expensive, ironically, and yet had more bones, and it was even more unhealthy because there was more deep fried batter and oil. So somehow the thing that was actually not as good tasting and even less healthy was more expensive than what wasn't. Just wanted to try the chicken patties. Next, buying, testing new deals. Okay, gift treats. So taking some of that chicken and treating my guardians as well as, well, particularly my biological father, because my mother would not eat something like that, obviously. She's very ill, but even normally she wouldn't eat something so unhealthy. And then giving the majority of that's remaining over to my brother. Let me pause, drink some water. Alright, so gifts, treating, spoiling, no. So measure heart rate with a Fitbit setup account, phone app. That cluster of words means that I got in touch with my cousin, and my cousin suggested that next time we meet, that I should remind him to bring his Fitbit watch so that when we go running, I can measure my heart rate, my running pace, and so on, so my stride length and whatever. But that to do so, I need to connect the Fitbit device watch kind of thingamy-what over to a Fitbit app on my phone. Which I say, is good because I already have a Fitbit account, I just don't have the device. So I have to dig up that Fitbit account and connect it when that time comes. Next, Excel spreadsheet, create separate double displays of the days. What does that say? XLS sheet, create separate double display. So what that means is that my current Excel spreadsheet previously had only one. You can see it on screen. It says 001. There's actually a sheet before that, 000, that did not exist. The 000 is what you're seeing right now. 000 designates what you can actually see on the live stream camera right now. 001 is where I compile all of the content that I may or may not include on stream. So it's more for management. It kind of compiles all of the things that I've done that I may want to talk about, that are of interest, or so on and so forth. And then whatever is meant for display for live streaming and it may be useful for live streaming, I will shift and copy those selected components and parts as chunks onto the zeroth spreadsheet, let's just say. And that's what you would see on camera right now. Too many hand gestures, I notice. Gotta do less of that. Don't overdo it. Phone inbox fully, 9x, unable record unless CPU, LPC, OBS, Prism. So what that means, and that's like the 20th line, is that I should want to unbox my phone. Very straightforward. So this is the phone, man. Maybe we can do it right now. So why don't we do it right now? Yeah, let's do it right now. Let's just do it right now. So this is the Galaxy A13 5G. And it's a gift from my biological father. I want to say, thank you, appreciations to that. It's more like a bundled item that was provided for free from the plan, but even so, the fact that it's bundled under his, as a benefit under his company, his workplace, means that, I appreciate that very much. It's a very nice phone. So let's take it. It's a little exciting. Let's take a look. Let's see what it is. I recognize I'm not very emotional, right, on stream. That's probably because it's at night. I'm trying to not be too rambunctious, but I'm also, generally speaking, a more descriptive and objective speaker. I should probably learn to separate my personalities and bring a more energetic, more crazy personality on stream, and at least have that as a separate persona on particular series of the Ahn Rho Project, as opposed to other series on the Ahn Rho Project where it might be more serious and composed. Let's unbox the phone. And I gotta lift it up. I always forget that the phone camera that I'm using to live stream right now is very high compared to where I think it's facing. So what we should do here is turn it aside. Let's move Excel over a little bit because we don't really need it that much. And let me just see. Back up. Okay. So Galaxy A13 5G. And if I just slip off just like that, you can turn to the side of the backdrop. It says something along the lines of packaging contains the Samsung Galaxy A13. It's a 5G phone, so 5G wireless, USB cable, quick start guide. And then we take this and we just move the phone out. Move the case with the instruction manual out. Samsung it says, so I'm gonna put this down for now. And you can sort of put a hole through that and pull out a USB cable, Type-C, USB Type-C cable. You can see all the warnings over there, recyclable and so on and so forth, electrical. And then inside there's also a user guide, I believe, and maybe a warranty manual. So Samsung, installing the SIM card, particularly a nano SIM card. On the back it has different languages like French and, only in French, so it's either French or English only. So English and Français. Parlez-vous en français? And I believe inside here there should also be like a SIM. No, it's not. I thought there would be, but there isn't. I thought there would be the SIM key. A pin, sorry, not a key. A pin to press up the SIM card on the phone. It's not inside this cartridge actually. So I'm going to close this for a moment. Or maybe we can pull it out. I don't see why. No, let's just put it away. The fact is I already have multiple USB cables for charging smartphones, and they're all USB Type-C. So it's okay. I don't actually need to use this. But we did unbox it on stream, so that's nice. Need to find a way to record all these. Send a message. So 231 Samsung. Maybe I can do that on Excel, I'll just put timestamps on Excel. 230. Okay, so I need to create an Excel spreadsheet that captures all the timestamps. where am I going to put? Trying to figure out where I should put timestamps. So we can say 2:30:20. Timestamp is a Samsung unboxing. 14 unboxing. Around the 2-hour mark. We had Mihail comment questions. Mihail. Okay. Very nice. Mihail Milev. That sounds like a Slovakian sort of name. Alright, let's move on to let's move on. Okay. We almost finished everything, right? So we're back to unboxing the phone. All I did right now, I just want to let you guys know, is I went on to onto the Excel spreadsheet, and I thought about a way to document live timestamps. So I just created 2 columns on Excel, and I just timestamped them. Now ideally, if I knew how to make OBS plugins work, I would be able to do instant replays of these, which I could learn, but I've recognized that there's a lot of technical issues that I'd have to troubleshoot anyways, because it's not straightforward. Even if you run the instant replays, there's a lot of not just setup, but a lot of troubleshooting and debugging you have to do. There's always something that's going to go wrong, and if there's any sort of update, something goes wrong again, or if you try a different piece of content, or there's something just goes wrong. There's always something that goes wrong with this piece of technology because it's so convoluted. And just keep it simple, man. At the end of the day, unless I can actually find someone who has the know-how or the time and energy to do something like that. Now, back to the task list. So we're back to unboxing the phone, and this is what the phone looks like. Right, we just did the cartridge with the Samsung A13. I take out the phone. We can see the cartridge right here with the pin for the nano SIM card. So right here. And at the bottom we also have the barcode and the details, manufacturer details of the model. Made in Vietnam. I guess that's my home country, somewhat in a sense. We pull this up here. We have the A13. It is very thick to the side, so it's a thick phone. Very curvaceous. Sure, it's 2 a.m. at night, so it only makes sense that you would see you would see items of great thickness. So fucking lame. Look at the front here. I'm being stupid. Right, so you see right here at the front, this is the phone, and it's actually very long and wide. This is not the kind of phone that I want to carry with me when I go to work, when I go to the library. If I move it close to the phone and measure it, it is in fact about 1 centimeter longer from top to bottom, and in terms of width, it's about the same, just a little bit wider. It's also a lot heavier though because of the width, and being 5G makes a lot of sense. It's new technology. There is a screen protector here which I can sort of peel off if I do, but I don't really want to, at least not on stream. You know what, I think I can slide it out. So it is how it works. It's at the very back here, there's a little tab, and I can pull this off. Right. It's quite sticky. There's quite a bit of adhesive on this, and I'm not a big fan of removing the protector from the phone. And I recognize that it's kind of a necessity because otherwise I can't really use the phone, so it's kind of sad. At the bottom there's some adhesive here as well, so if I just pull it off here, maybe I can slide it out, but that's a reach, honestly. Nope, you gotta peel it off from the side. And so here is the phone. And the reason why I couldn't peel it off, I couldn't pull the phone off from the side, is because there's adhesive, just like this, on the side of the screen protector, of the phone protector. So here's the phone. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this, and I will lock the screen protector once more. So it looks like this. Now, I want to say that even when the phone is unboxed, here's the protector. Even with the screen and the phone unboxed, I'm not very confident about using the phone out in public because I would be carrying almost 3 phones outside, and I don't want to carry that much risk in terms of items of value to me outside. It's just too much money. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but I intended on using this new phone for live streaming in public libraries or stuff like that. I had to be a little bit subtle about that, of course. So we put the casing back in. The SIM card's inside, right? I mean the pin for the SIM is inside. We'll probably need it, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that pin out actually. Because we do want to get the phone activated and functional. So that will require a SIM card. And then we'll remove the SIM card later. So we'll put this here, and we'll stick the Samsung cartridge back in. And we'll stick the SIM card pin just on a diagonal like that. So you see it's wedged between